The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We PoPolitickin, it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight PoPolitickin. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we PoPolitickin. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight PoPolitickin. Hey yo, I rise like the sun in the east, running the streets. Same people that was coming in peace, some in the beast on the microphone. It's never a long and hard task. For God, I'm gon' smash they blog and podcast. Introduction to journalism 101 with Pharaoh PoPolitickin about where I'm from and what I do. What's up? It gotta be good. Interviewing everybody, you know they probably could. Take all the blood, sweat, and tears, working all them years. Putting in 10,000 hours, it empowers careers. From the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion to Yo Gotti. High as a kite, jet life currency in the party. With MC Light, J Prince said I rap a lot. Super Saiyan Black Kakarot with a Macintosh laptop in my Apple Watch. Smoking Fraggle Rocks, 4 eyes, got more lines and hooks than a tackle box. What? The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We PoPolitickin, it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight PoPolitickin. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we PoPolitickin. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight PoPolitickin.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Check me out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, where we listen to podcasts. 1-2-1-2, place to be with Cuban Pete. How you doing?
Hey, peace. Yeah, I'm doing all right, thanks.
I like that shirt. Where you get that shirt from?
This is it's one of mine. It's a label I started, Flyaway Robbery.
That's clean right there. So you from Cuba, right?
No, I'm from the UK.
So how did your name, how Cuban Pete come about?
It was just a nickname after Jim Carrey in The Mask. I was out dancing one night and with some friends, and I'd had a few many to drink, and I got off the dance floor, and one of my friends was just like, "Hey, it's Cuban Pete. He dances to the rumba beat," and he just sort of stuck from there, really.
So, how, what part of the UK are you from?
From the West Midlands originally. Living in the northeast now. Been up here longer than I've been down the West Midlands, to be fair. So, best of both worlds, really.
But born and raised?
Yeah.
So, how did you get involved with hip hop?
God, I mean, just hearing the music. I mean, back in the day, I mean, God, been, Salt and Pepper and Eric B. and Rakim and people like that were getting in the charts. I mean, even Public Enemy got in the charts over here at one point. And it was just from that, really. I heard the music, liked what I heard, and I mean, back in the day, I used to buy like hard copies. So I'd buy a cassette and I'd read the liner notes and see who they were friends with and who they were down with, and I'd go and buy their albums, and just it snowballed from there, really.
Okay. So who was some of you was talking about? What other rappers influenced you?
God, I mean, back in the day, people like, and obviously, I went through the whole golden era thing. But I mean, people like Ice-T, NWA, De La Soul, KRS, BDP, Eric B. and Rakim, X-Clan, Brand Nubian, people like that, really.
So that's what y'all listen to out there?
It's what I was listening to. I mean, the town I grew up in was a little white town, basically. It was all rock. There was one there was one record shop, and I think their hip hop collection was about 5 CDs or something. I had to travel because I'm not far where I grew up, not far from Birmingham, which is the second city sort of thing after London, and there's a bigger black population there. Same as in Wolverhampton, where my dad's from. So you could go there. I used to go to Wolverhampton Library, and you could take out, Brand Nubian on cassette and my dad would be there with his library card. I'd be like, "Can I just borrow it?" And you know, I'd leave there with about 6 different tapes, and I'd go home and copy them, and then take them back the next week.
So, what made you want to be an MC?
Just that's what attracted me to hip hop, was the wordplay. I've always liked the way people put words together, and sort of, you know, you can play with people's minds to some extent. I don't mean the mad scientist sense, but you know what I mean. Just, they think you're going one way with something, and then you'll go another way. And obviously, you've got the information side of it as well. You know, they used to refer to hip hop as the Black CNN, and with me being over here in my little white town, you know, it was a whole different perspective than I'd heard before. And I've done a track recently, it's coming out soon, West Side Story, and it's a dedication to what was basically my polar opposites, all the West Coast gangster rappers and all that, you know, like NWA and King T and whoever at the time. And it's just like, it's a bit like Jizz's labels. Basically, I'm just incorporating the names in the track and doing a little story sort of thing. But yeah, it's just paying homage to them, really. But I mean, I always listened to a fair bit of everything. I was East Coast, West Coast, South. You know, obviously with me being British, you know, there's people over here. People dropped the American accents after a while and just represented where they were from. You know, you can hear my West Midlands accent coming through when I'm rapping and stuff. So yeah, just expanded from there. Really.
Did you have like a mentor or anything, or you just started writing and picked it up on your own? Like, how did you?
No, not at all. Just sort of started writing myself, really. I had some instrumentals. First thing I did was, you know, Tim Westwood.
Mm-hmm.
When he first joined Radio 1 over here, he did a ring-in thing, and I rang in. It must have been about midnight or something, and my parents were upstairs asleep, and I'm there. I mean, these were back in the days when you only had the house phone. That was it, no mobiles or anything. So the house phone's in the living room, right underneath their bedroom. So I'm there crouched on the floor, trying to get as close to the floor as possible. Like those extra few inches are going to make me any quieter. And I rang in and did a freestyle over the phone with to the Biggie beat and Who Shot You. And Melly Mel was in the studio, and he was doing ad-libs in the background, and stuff like that. So and, you know, that was the first time I did anything, you know, with other people around, sort of thing. You know, I got a 4-track from somewhere and got some instrumentals, Pete Rock and Seal Smooth, I think, from the Main Ingredient. There's a couple of tracks on there, and I did a little demo called it Homebrew, like everybody does who does their first demo. Like, oh yeah, I made it at home, it's homebrew. You know, so, but yeah, it was cool. But I think I don't know where that is. I've got it buried on tape somewhere, but I've got a bit better since then. Let's put it that way.
Shout out to Rhea. Say peace to you and Cuban Pete. What's up? Peace. Can you see that? See it. So who are you? How would you describe yourself to the listeners, to the viewers?
I'm Cuban Pete from the UK. I mean, I'm just a hip hop head that enjoys doing what he does. I mean, Ray has been a big help in what I do. She sort of advised me on this, that, and the other. You know, she's my manager at the moment, so yeah, full respect to her. I couldn't be where I am now at the sort of stage I'm at without her, to be honest. So yeah, she's been a big help. But yeah, I just like doing tracks with people, getting my music out there, being heard. I'm not in it to be the next, I don't know, Eminem, Jay-Z, whatever. You know, I'm not thinking I'm gonna be that level or whatever. I just enjoy doing what I do for the people that enjoy hearing it, basically.
So what do you love about hip hop the most?
Just the style, the wordplay, the history, just everything about it, really. I mean, I'm an artist, visual artist as well. So obviously the graffiti side of things, I've always been big on that. There's no way you will ever see me breakdancing or b-boying or whatever. But yeah, you know, I just love it all, really. I can't really put my finger on one thing. It's just something that I sort of got involved with, and I had friends at school that I didn't even know were into it. And then one friend, I went around his house there once, and he ended up lending me albums by D Nice, I think Ice-T as well, and people like that. And he sort of helped me get into it more. You know, I'd go back around his house every so often and say, "Oh, can I borrow that? Can I borrow that?" And then take it back home and record it. But yeah, it just took off from there, really.
Yeah, what you working on right now?
Well, I've just dropped a sort of mixtape album, just a collection of the singles I've been dropping recently. At the start of the year, just before Christmas, I dropped a EP with a producer called Beaufort, and that was cool. That did well. And then in January, dropped another EP with DJ Iceman, former MMA fighter that DJs and stuff now, called Everybody Hates Pete. And that was sort of based on Everybody Hates Chris and everything. But yeah, that did well. I've just been dropping singles since then. Got a couple of projects I'm working on. There's one album with a producer called Hanzo Blades, and another one with Neri, the producer, who's down with C75 Live, my thing. So I'm sort of halfway through both of those at the moment. So I was hoping to drop one. I normally drop something on my birthday, the 7th of July, every year. But I realised I wasn't going to get either of them finished in time, and I didn't want to rush them. So I thought I'd just drop the mixtape now to keep people going until something proper drops. And I'm still dropping the singles. I've got Around the Globe out at the moment, featuring Crumb from Gangstar Foundation, Solomon Childs, Wu-Tang fan, and Kinetic, friend of Crumb Snatchers. And I've got that West Side Story single coming on the 15th of June as well.
Yeah, we had Crumb Snatch on the show a couple months ago.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit of work together. He's got an album coming out, Iron Lion of Zion. I'm on a couple of tracks on that, and did the artwork for it as well.
Now I'm saying, so you said visual artist. So what does that mean? Do you do graffiti, or you do more like different types of art?
No, I never got the hang of a spray can. As much as I love graffiti, I was just never that technical with it. But no, I'm more. I went to university, did fine art course, and I do more. To be fair, I do more graphic design style now, doing covers, like cover art for people's albums and singles, etc.
Okay, what's up? I was gonna play one of your songs. Which one you want me to play? The All Around the Globe?
Yeah, cool.
Man, we'll play that. You want to lead us into it a little bit before we go into it?
Yeah, this is Around the Globe. Like I say, it's got Crumb Snatcher on it. We were working on it together, and he bought Kinetic in on it. And I bought Solomon in for the final verse. But yeah, it's just Crumb came up with the hook as well. Him and Kinetic did that. So, but yeah, it's a cool track.
All right, let's go.
Check 1, 2, hands up and don't stop. All around the globe, we live in this hip hop. Police, robbers, breakers, poppers, taggers, rappers, lawyers, doctors. Check 1, 2, hands up and don't stop. All around the globe, we loving this hip hop.
Shit, I thought that was a song. That's just the ad.
Yeah, yeah, just a video ad I put together.
I like this Blur, the Blur. I play that one because I don't see it all around the world. Yeah, I play that one. Yeah. You want to talk about that one a little bit?
I've done a visual for around the world. Yeah, but yeah, Blur. I originally did with a different beat. I ended up running a competition for someone to remix it. This guy Swan that I used to work with back in the day, he came through the winning beat for it. So and I got a lyric video put together for it as well.
All right, let's go.
Hey yo, they say they can't understand me, but let me make this clear, there's no plan B. Still I stay calm, never antsy, there's way more baskets than eggs in my pantry. Bro got more strings than a shady deal, naturally attract sharks like a baby seal. Fetch the straight jackets, I'm crazy real, grab the mic and mash it up like a baby meal. Quick on the draw like a hired gun, their reasons not to pay getting tiresome. Most only offer up exposure like a nip slip. Others get the goods, then they dip quick. Can't trust them. Chuck told me way back. Took too many years to really hear him say that. Wish I'd listened proper in the 90s, but now I'm getting down, leaving clowns way behind me. Oh, I can see him in my rear view. Way back, what's that? I can't hear you. Oh, take a seat as you were. We're light years ahead. These suckers just a blur. I can see him in my rear view. Way back, what's that? I can't hear you. Oh, take a seat as you were. We're light years ahead. These suckers just a blur. I don't do much, that's a misnomer. Mostly written by dudes on their sofa. Bro, you shouldn't even start right. I pass them in a blur, need to cut down on their park life. Stay afloat, I'm a Noah with the archetype. Rip a track apart with the strength of a shark bite. I'm no brighter, it's habitual for me to stay original. Now I got it locked like a criminal. Never minimal, I'm maximum, passing them. Never got the love and damn sure wasn't asking them. Fake love equals no love. And most of these dudes out here scared to show love. I'm a real man, heart on my sleeve type. But mess around, that line will get a rewrite. They take my kindness for weakness. I leave them in the dirt, drown them out with my speakers. Oh, I can see them in my rear view. Way back, what's that? I can't hear you. Oh, take a seat as you were. We're light years ahead. These suckers just a blur. I can see him in my rear view. Way back, what's that? I can't hear you. Oh, take a seat as you were. We're light years ahead. These suckers just a blur.
Yeah, we back. Y'all like that song though?
Pardon, sorry?
I said I like that song.
Cool, cool.
I feel like you was talking about wordplay. I feel like you got wordplay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know the accent isn't for everyone, but whatever's been said about me, nobody's ever said my writing's bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the accent's bad, but I mean, I was like, oh, he actually rapping. Like, I was listening to it, I was like, okay, he be rapping. So that's cool.
It takes people time to get used to it sometimes, especially Americans, because obviously they're used to just hearing the American sound. And I mean, a lot of people over here as well, you know, they hear all the stuff in the charts where you still get people putting on American accents sometimes, and you've got all the grime stuff as well, which I'm not particularly a fan of, but it's just a different style, so it's not what people hear a lot, I suppose. But
you said something about some sharks. What'd you say?
got the strength of a shark bite.
No, you were saying like you said something like you eat the sharks. You said something about I think you was talking about some dolphins or tuna. You was talking about something that eat the sharks. Yeah, that shit caught my eye when I listened to it earlier. I was saying then I saw another song you did like so I guess it's bad in the UK because you were showing like you said talking about racism and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the name would be I forgot the name of it. I'll go to and let you know which one it is though.
Hate Britain.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I did that shortly after all the George Floyd stuff in the media, because it was just a answer to all the Britain's very divided at the moment, and there's a lot of people don't understand and misfed information about Black Lives Matter and things like that, and you know, like, oh, it's Marxist and all the rest of it, and we've got England players kneeling at the moment before matches, and people are going nuts saying keep politics out of it, and it's like, well, it's not political, but you can't explain to people. It's been a good year plus, and people still pretend they don't understand. And even some of the commentators were saying at the last match on TV that, you know, it's disingenuous at the moment. People are pretending, you know, they don't like it for different reasons, and it's a load of rubbish. You know, it's if you don't know by now, you clearly don't want to know, basically. So at some point, you've just got to draw the line, and there's only so many times you can explain to people over the internet or whatever. You know, if you don't get it by now, you're never going to get it, basically.
Yeah, ain't no, so it's bad over there too. Shit, I guess it's worldwide.
Well, I mean, there's a woman, Sasha Jenkins. She was the leader of Black Lives Matter over here. Mm-hmm. She made a tweet saying something about making white people slaves or something, and they sort of like disassociated themselves shortly after that. But obviously that keeps coming back to haunt her through people who don't like her because of her, you know, proper politics or whatever. But she got shot in the head recently at a party. Some people entered the garden of this party and shot her, apparently by accident. Who knows? It's all still going on at the moment. But yeah, just people making up all sorts of stuff about her, saying, "Oh, she's a criminal. You don't get shot unless you're a criminal." And you know, it's just crazy at the moment.
So, what are your top 3 goals for your career right now?
Just keep building on what I'm doing. Really, I seem to be doing things right at the moment. I mean, I love working with other people. I love a posse cut, and I've always loved that. I've got like a collection of them somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I love working with people and different producers. I sort of did the EP thing for a while, and I'm sort of going back onto the albums now. But I'm still just constantly releasing singles as well, because people have short attention spans, don't they? So, you know, it's difficult. You got to keep them entertained a bit.
So what's some of your interests outside of music?
Definitely the artwork as well. It's something I enjoy doing as well as for money, you know. It's and also that's about it, really. Music and artwork, that keeps me busy. And family. Obviously, I love my wife, Michelle. Big shout out to her. But yeah, obviously, you know, hip hop's a big part of what I do and what I am. It's nice now we're getting out of lockdown. We can get back to normal, whatever that is. But But yeah, just have to see how it goes from now.
So how's the average day for you right now?
The
average day.
Just spend my time mostly just. I'm doing videos for people now as well. Doing some video work for Solomon Charles, and got a few covers lined up I need to get done for people. It's generally doing that really. Spend most of my time either writing lyrics or doing artwork for people, basically.
And then how do you get clients, like far as with the artwork? Or how you find clients?
Just through word of mouth, really. And obviously I post work I've done online and people see it, and just through that way, really.
Okay. Now, how would you describe your creative process?
Really, when it comes to writing lyrics, it's just as and when it hits me. I am prime time, so when I first get up in the morning and take my phone to the bathroom and just get that private time to yourself, that it might be the only hour you get to yourself that day, but by the time you've left there and your leg's gone to sleep and shit.
I know, right? That shit hurt too. They need to fix that. Leg be all
you might have a good song written by the end of it. But yeah, and last thing at night's always good as well. I just seem to get the buzz around those times to write. But it's difficult trying to get time to yourself sometimes as well.
So what advice would you give to new artists?
Practice. But yeah, always practice. I mean, I never sit back and think, oh, wow, that's the best I could possibly do ever. You know, I mean, I'm a typical artist in the sense that, you know, I'm a perfectionist and I want to improve constantly and things like that. So there's a lot of people that rap that call themselves artists that aren't, I don't think. You know, they'll sort of do any old stuff and they're quite happy with that as it is. But no, I like to sort of like push myself, and especially that's why I do a lot of collabs as well. I like to try and obviously everybody wants to be the best person on the track, you know, but I like to try different styles and things like that as well. So I always like to try, just keep pushing yourself, basically.
Did you take those pictures in the back behind you?
No, it's no, it came in a pack. It's just like cheap wallpaper, really. Just like A3 sheets, you just put on any style you want.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, man. I want to say, what would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Well, thanks for supporting me, first of all. I mean, I'm always humble and appreciate any support I get, really. I know whether it's buying music, CDs or digital or whatever, or even just sharing and liking my stuff on social media, you know, whatever you can do, I appreciate it. And I've got my website, c75live.com. If you go on there, there's links to all my stuff. You've got music videos, and you can buy merch on there as well. My boy B Divine has just he's down with C75 Live. I've designed his merch as well as crumb snatchers as well. So yeah, I do a lot of design in that way as well.
Okay. What does C75 mean?
It's just C for Cuban and 75 the year I was born. Because I'm old as hell. But yeah, it was C75 Designs at one point, and C75 Live was the music side of things. But as the music side grew and grew, it sort of almost took over the design side a bit. But just decided to merge the two together, really. So,
all right, I want to say thanks for coming through politicking with me.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No doubt. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout to B Divine. Go and get his Project Culture Shock out now. Got T-Pain on there and a bunch of other people, Pace One, people like that. Look out for Six Foe. He's got a album coming soon. I'm sure he said it might be his last, but nah, doubt it. One Mike, he's working on one Horse of a Different Colour Part 2 and Hip Hop Anyway as well. A couple of races working on. Graveyard Shifter. All these people are there in my crew. Graveyard Shifter's got a project he's working on as well, which hopefully I should be on if he sends me a beat. Yeah, Crumb Snatcher, Justice Hype. Like I say, Raya, sorry, and yeah, that's about it really. Heaven Raiser and all the ghetto government officials. Yeah, that's about it.
And then any what's your social media?
C75live.com is the website. There's links to everything on there. On Twitter, I'm C75live. C75live IG on Instagram, and if you search for C75 Live, you can Google me. To be fair, I'm all over.
That's what's up. All right, y'all, we out. Check us out later. Check me out on PoPolitickin on social media.